Habargani, Habarganio, Kuumba, Kuumba. Welcome to the sixth day, the sixth principle of Kwanzaa. Today we're going to talk a little bit about creativity. What does that mean for you? The meaning of Kuumba for us is using our minds and our hands to make our communities more beautiful than they were when we inherited them. Using our hands to make gifts that record and keep alive our history. What is your form of creativity? Is it being in the garden? Is it painting, drawing? My first love is cloth. That is my medium of choice for creativity. Cloth, fabric, it all tells a story. What you're looking at here is kente. This is part of the Akan Ashanti tribe out of Ghana. And each pattern tells you a story. And then, a few days ago, or rather previously, I showed you this. This is Ankara. And you find a lot of Ankara in Nigeria. And Ankara is wax, Dutch wax fabric. And basically, if you look at the history and the story of how this came into being, you know, when most countries want to dispose of their waste, they send it to Africa or India. And so we managed to repurpose it and make something beautiful and put it back out into the world. When I started Kwanzaa, you were looking at this. This is called Korogo, and this is from the Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. And it's a type of mud cloth simply because it is made by being put into the earth. But again, each stroke, each item means something. Maybe one day I'll do a video to explain the symbology, since we're so big on symbology in the Tarot community, what all of this means. And of course, all of you, most of you, are familiar with this mud cloth. This is out of Mali, Bogolofini. That's what it's called, Bogolofini. You know it as mud cloth. And if you look closely, you can see that it's made in strips. And as I said, it's almost sacrilege to cut into this. It is better to separate it in its strips. So, creativity. This is done from many people who, those of us in the Western world, will see as people who lack, who are impoverished, who don't have many things that we in the Western world take for granted. And yet they were able to be very creative and bring beauty into our worlds. So, what are we going to do? Now this kente, not only is it out of Ghana, Ashanti, Akan, that's my lineage, my heritage, but you know, the black, green, and gold. I'm Jamaican. These are my colors, my country's colors. Black, green, and gold. Black for the people, green for the fertile soils in which we prosper, and gold for the sun rising every day. Our motto in Jamaica is, out of many, one people. In Jamaica, you can find just about every nationality on that small, tiny island. We are not without our problems and our issues, but yet they manage to coexist and work together. Yeah. So, today's spread asks us about our creativity. Let's see what we should do here. Let's see what the questions are. My special area of creativity, card number 1. Card number 2, how I currently express my creativity. Card number 3, how my creativity honors my ancestors. And card number 4, my creativity promotes unity. Or how does it promote unity? Number 5, how my creativity beautifies my community. Number 6, how my creativity benefits my community. And number 7, how can I be more creative? You would have to think for yourself, what does creativity mean for you? Is it doing a thing? Many people say, I can't draw. I can't even do a stick figure. I want to say it's Laura over at Amethyst Ascension. She just did a review of the Sigils book, Sigil Witchery book by Laura Zarkov, I want to say. To create a sigil, many people think that you have to have some sort of artistic ability. How is your creativity supporting your community? Are you creating art just for art's sake, your personal sake, personal enjoyment? And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever. Kuumba, using our hands to make gifts that record and keep alive our history. That's very telling for me this year. You know, at the beginning of the year, I had put it out into the universe that I wanted to sew more. And I have tons of fabric I will transition and leave for my son to have to deal with. I know this. And I'm okay with it. And it hasn't stopped me from buying more. And I never thought that I would be making a contribution to the preservation of humanity as we know it. This time will go down in the record books. My art, my love, became something that my community needed. So while I didn't get to do much sewing for myself, it was for a worthy and viable cause. Let's see here. I think I will use the Manzel Tarot. This is what I used yesterday, the Manzel. Okay. As always, it's 7 cards. first card, my special area of creativity. How I currently express my creativity. How my creativity honors my ancestors. How does my creativity promote unity? How my creativity beautifies my community. How my creativity benefits my community. This one down here. And how can I be more creative? Feeling like you're in here. You're in here somewhere. How can I be more creative? Here is the card that I would prefer to use as my Eight of Swords. See how grounded and relaxed she is? She's using her other senses. She's using her mind. She's altering her thoughts. That's what's causing these to bend and break and twist and melt down. I look at this and I think of, what is it, Mr. Spock, with the mind melding. She's sitting in a place of confidence and relaxed, not one of submission, not one of loss, not one of grieving or grief, not one of agita, as we say. She's quite content with being present and dealing with what she has to deal with presently right now. She doesn't even need her eyes to see. She has tapped into that energy right there. Her inner eye. You see her pose? Her root is sitting on the ground, her root chakra. She's grounded, stable. She's stabilizing her thoughts. And slowly but surely removing things, thoughts, ideas, and patterns that might be an impediment. Okay. All right. How can I be more creative? Again, with the stinking thinking, man. Like, I got to change that. I get it. Clear my plate. One thing at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All right, all set. Let's see which dragon energy and which goddess energy we can tap into to help us, or that will support our creativity. So Let's see who that is. We have the green, the birds, the octopus, the water, the constellation. Andromeda, kingdom of Ethiopia. Chained to a rock by her parents to appease the gods, Andromeda was saved by and later married the Greek hero Perseus, an Ethiopian princess who was later deified. Andromeda's image has been whitewashed over centuries and her story conflated with that of Perseus. Andromeda implores you to resist being made invisible by increasing your self-worth and knowing your value. Know your value and your own story and creatively bring it to the forefront. That's what I feel Andromeda is saying. You know your story. You get to write your story. Seek a creative outlet to release anything that may be holding you back. Poetry. Start a book. Finish a book. Sew. Make macaroni necklaces. Mud pies. Glue shells to a box. Dance. Cook. If you cook, invite me. Bake. Sing. Jump rope. Go on the swings. Touch a tree. Temperance comes up again. Temperance. You know, temperance for me is my bartender. Hey, bartender. Give me a margarita on the rocks, no salt, please, and keep the lime. This is two dragons here. They're coexisting and working together. It's two dragons. Two energies. Let's see. I feel like did I pull this card? No. I did not pull temperance. I don't think. The interplay of yin and yang. Unification. How can day exist without night or light without darkness? When we find harmony in places that once held contradiction, we naturally move to a higher vibration and find a deeper level of inner peace. And for me, I always said that temperance was more harmony than balance. It's that's why I relate to my bartender. Bartender is going to make you a drink. It's not going to be 50-50. It's not going to be a balance of something. It's going to be a harmony of several blends of things to give you the right concoction. Just like if you are a chef and you're making a meal, everything must harmonize to bring out the deliciousness of a roast. I think it's more balanced. A meal is more balanced if you have a meat, a vegetable, starch, blah, blah, blah. That to me is that. But temperance is more the harmonizing of everything. It's the blending of the right colors, the right red with the right white to get the right shade of pink. All you have to do is look at nature. You want to see the aspect of harmony in nature? Look at a rose, the inner petals, and see the blend of colors that come out. I'm leaving that 8 there. Don't you prefer that 8? Tell me. I mean, that's a nice looking 8, but that's the 8 that speaks to me. Okay. Let's see. The key is seeking moderation in our thoughts, actions, and opinions. Open-mindedness allows us to see the big picture and to have awareness of other people's perspective. When we temper our choices, we gain strength of character and durability of spirit. Temperance. Not necessarily moderation. Not necessarily balance. But it is harmony. And that's what I'm striving for right now. Harmony within myself. Peace. Okay? So we have our goddess and we have our dragon. And of course, I'm going to give you a question to answer. And let's see. Okay, I'm going to move this up here. Move this over just a tidge. Get everything in. All right, let's see what question we're going to ask in regards to creativity. What question? What question do we have? Well, I'm going to ask you this. What do you think you have yet to learn about yourself? What do you think you have yet to learn about yourself? Especially when it comes to your creativity. If you're dealing with a creative block, maybe you want to get started on something. Maybe you feel there's nothing you want to do, you don't know what to do. Ask yourself that. Abaragani. Kuumba. Stay blessed. Stay peaceful. Hug someone today.